Shannon thought it'd be a safe bet to buy a 26-year-old townhouse. Not too old, have a good track record. The home inspection appeared to go well, or so she thought, but now she's faced with a lot of problems. I'm gonna make it right.
My sister had moved out west with her family and decided that they wanted to come home. She had asked me if I could do her a favor and go look at apartments for her because she was so far away. And I just got an idea. I just said, you know what, why don't I just buy a house and we can kind of all live together and it'll help me pay my mortgage and at the same time you guys will have a nice place to live. So it was just sort of a win-win situation for everybody. There was just something about this house that I loved. Like the backyard, I really like it. There's a sliding door that goes from the kitchen to the backyard. And it's right across from a playground, so my nephew could go and play and stuff like that. So there were really a lot of things that I liked about this house. My home inspection, I thought, went really well. Everything kind of just looked cosmetic, and I thought, you know what? I can save some money and I can do some renovations in a couple years. I can kind of live with the ugly kitchen and the ugly carpet. And it wasn't a big deal to me. The home inspector was very nice to me. He was very kind, but I don't know that he actually checked everything as thoroughly as he should have. Hi.
Shannon?
Mike,
Oh,
nice
Mike.
to meet you.
Nice to
Thanks
meet
so
you.
much for coming.
It's cold out, I don't like it.
Come on in.
I understand there's a few problems.
There's quite a few problems. Yeah.
Well, it's a cozy little place.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, there's a big hole in the ceiling.
Looks like you've got some leaky plumbing.
I had only been in the house for a week. I was standing in the kitchen and I could hear drip, 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 and I'm like, where is that coming from? So I kind of looked around and then I looked up and sure enough, the water's leaking and then it kind of starts leaking quicker and faster and I just kind of stood there. The first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to rip that whole bathroom apart. You could tell it had been patched already, so the home inspector just kind of said, oh, don't worry about that. It's just previous water damage, and he said it's no big deal because the upstairs bathroom had been renovated.
I read that in the report.
Yeah.
It seemed to be an old problem,
Yeah,
not a new
yeah.
problem. You got a plumber in here, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And he was a plumber?
Yes, well, he said he was.
He said he was.
He cut into the ceiling and he had a look at it and he looked for a leak and he said, I don't know where this leak is coming from.
Let's go upstairs.
All right. I just felt really like defeated because here's this guy saying he doesn't know where the leak is coming from and he refuses to fix it. So that was even more frustrating for me.
This is a backsplit, eh?
Yeah, lots and lots of levels.
Very nice. Up to you. Well, it's looking good. You didn't put this in, right?
No. This was a renovation that was done by the previous owner, but I don't know if necessarily they did a very good job.
There's three main areas where a bathtub can leak. The drain, the overflow,
Okay.
the shower head, but not just the shower head, but the shower head up here, there's Teflon tape in behind it, so it's 1, 2, 3 as one,
Okay.
and the other two would be to clean out
I
the
always
drain.
thought it was the overflow.
If I have the right tools, I'm actually going to run a snake camera downstairs up through the hole. I want to see him behind the tub, never mind looking at the leaks. Really, the last thing I want to do is pull that tub. There's our dryer duct right there, which runs back up, out through the garage. Dumb buggers. So this is the old dryer line, right?
So the guy thought it was
So
easy?
someone said, let's run a plumbing pipe out there.
Now all of a sudden I've got this house and I just don't have the resources to fix all these problems. So I will take you into the master bedroom where we just discovered some mold.
It's the first area, a window or a door from outside, because that's going to be the penetration points for rain, for snow, for weather. So we do have a little bit of surface mold here.
That's definitely something that the inspector could have looked at or should have
Was the
looked at.
baseboards there?
No, they were not. So there was no reason why he couldn't have really noticed that. If you look, it's there. And if an inspector is looking for that, they will find that, absolutely. All right, so here's the infamous basement.
Infamous basement, I like that.
There's a window behind this wall that has been drywalled
I
over.
read that in the report. Did
Yeah.
you ask any questions?
Well,
Did he look
actually,
further?
the home inspector was the one who noticed it first. We were down here and we were just looking around and he said, well, that's weird. There's no window down here. And I said, yeah, that's kind of weird. And he's like, Then we looked up and saw this vent There's nothing coming out of it.
Ooh, that's cold.
Yeah. The home inspector did kind of wonder why there was a vent where there shouldn't have been that wasn't connected to the ductwork in the house. But he was just kind of like, well, maybe you should ask the homeowner.
So we have the furnace room.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have steel framing. As soon as I see the electrical,
Yeah.
you got issues with electrical. Like, that's absolutely no. There's no grommet there whatsoever. If we're using any type of steel studding, in this case, it's a steel floor joist.
Yeah.
There's holes drilled for electrical. A grommet is the plastic protector that slips in that hole to stop the wire from actually scraping against the steel.
Okay.
If that wire wears through and touches the metal joist, this whole ceiling can become electrified. Now, if the ductwork's touching that, the plumbing's touching that, you touch it, you're gonna get a shock. These are things I'm gonna point out right away and say, that's an issue. You need a
Okay.
licensed electrical contractor in here to address this. The home inspector should have caught this, but I did not read about this in the report.
So,
Okie dokie.
this is what's going on with the window.
What do we have here?
Gas.
Yeah. We're not allowed to have an opening window or an exhaust within 3 feet of this meter. All right, they closed the zone. I see a little bit of some type of foam insulation, but the window's open, right? And it's just allowing all that. That's why that wall was so cold.
So as far as the window, there's no way that I'll get to open that up then.
Nope.
The gas.
No, I'm not even allowed to because of that gas.
Okay, that is really something I definitely would have liked to know before I moved in.
Yeah.
It kind of ruined that whole investment and purchasing your first home. Like, it kind of ruined the whole, excitement of it, because now all of a sudden I've got this house and I just don't have the resources to fix all these problems.
This is enough for now. I'm gonna grab some tools. I'm gonna do a complete scan of your house. Lots of stairs. We take care of our tools. This is a very expensive tool. This is the camera that actually gives me a thermographic reading. I'm gonna have to find out why that's so cold there for an adjoining wall. My guess is that somewhere in the attic insulation is missing and a cold draft is going down that wall, which it shouldn't be doing. Look at the insulation. I mean, we see insulation in the wall here. There is no vapor barrier. You see the dirt on the insulation? That dirt shows that we have a lot of air movement in this attic. Wood's fairly dry. Here we have the stack from the furnace. And look at this. That will explain the cold zones that I have down here. No wonder it's warm up here. I have no cold breath at all. What is it, minus 15 degrees Celsius outside? That's how much heat loss is up here. So let's talk about R value. R value is a measure of thermal resistance. The higher the R value, the better the insulation. Building code requires an R value of 40 in an attic. I'd love to see 50 or more, but that's me. This insulation here, this is an R12 insulation, this yellow stuff right here. We have an R8 giving us the equivalent to an R20. It's scattered, so we're not even close to an R20. And that's not good enough. The thermographic of the exterior of this house shows all the areas where there is heat loss. As far as I'm concerned, that sucks. I'm going in to fix it. Talk about money going out the window. In this case, money's going out the ceiling, out the roof. All right. I can already feel the cool difference just stepping down into the basement. Now, this is where the window is. And right there, you see that cold spot right there? That's gonna be where the duct line is in that window area. Right at that point, 9.6 degrees Celsius. As I scan around where the window is, we have a temperature change of 3 degrees in the area. And that's understandable, because if you remember, the window on the outside was opened and the ductwork went out at this point, and there was spray foam that was filled that wasn't 100% perfectly filled there. And that's why this area is catching such a much lower temperature to this point. And that's, for 3 degrees at the 2 points, that's a lot of temperature. Celsius, 3 degrees. I looked in this earlier, and I see a crawl space. There's our dryer duct right there, which comes through with a plastic flex hose, which runs back up, out through the garage. Dumb buggers. And then along the front. Like, why do it this way? I'm gonna have to look further into the garage at that point.